MK Stalin's son, Udhayanidhi Stalin, he's sparked a proper row. Sanatana Dharma remark, and I'm not going to essentially put it out there whether he's made those calls for a genocide or he's made those calls for eradicating it, whether he's compared them with malaria and dengue or not. But I read some of the tweets, I read some of the reactions to and fro from the BJP side, and from how the entire netizens have started comparing Udhayanidhi Stalin with Annamalai, saying that Annamalai is that one true Hindu. On the other hand, you have this convert who's trying to throw these jibes around. And the way, the crass with which the internet handles these kind of situations,
see,
it's impossible. The larger debate here is that it's actually impossible to even talk about anything that is slightly religious with an open mind.
That is what my big
free mind.
The biggest problem
before we start talking about this, how about you tell the viewers what Udhayanidhi Stalin actually said and what is the controversy all about? From a layman's perspective, essentially, he was talking about the ideals of Periyar and started saying how Sanatana Dharma, divides the society into these caste structures and casteist structures, and it needs to be eradicated. Did he utter the words malaria and dengue in that same speech? Was it the right kind of comparison? If he did draw that comparison, don't you think it might have hurt other people? On the other hand, the other people, the other side of this, debate, Sanatanis coming out and saying that how dare you say that you're comparing us with malaria and dengue and calling us for a genocide? Again, calls to pick up those
see,
arms.
Genocide factor of it was what Amit Malviya had put out. He said that Udhayanidhi Stalin was allegedly calling for the genocide of 80% of the population of this country. But see, when I look at it, I just try to find out, like, we lived in such charged atmosphere at times, especially on religion. Now, whether it is uncalled for or not, well, let's let the viewers in fact decide. But I'll give them a background of this. Udhayanidhi Stalin comes from what we call as Periyarist movement. The Dravidian parties have emerged on a Periyarist movement, and because both the Anna Dravida AIDMK or the DMK, and especially more of the DMK is more leaning towards some of those ideals of 1950s India, where the left or socialist movements were at their peak. In that, you have their ideologue in Periyar, and Periyar was an iconoclast, he was anti-religious, and he was an atheist. Being an atheist who challenged social causes. And one of the aspects of this is this, that Udhayanidhi Stalin, coming in from that group of thought or ideology, has spoken what the DMK has been speaking for ages. As a party, they have been speaking. His grandfather, Karunanidhi, if you look at his movie, Parashakti, it's all about being against religion. So there's nothing new in what he has spoken. He just echoed it. Now, where the situation becomes controversial is this, that when you speak about a religion, elimination of it, especially when you have comparison to dengue or malaria, this thing saying that it is a sickness, that religion is a sickness, then it becomes controversial, especially in a context of a country that is religiously so diverse, and at the same time religiously that is towards spiritual enough, if I could put it like that. But then DMK has always been projecting atheistic views. DMK has always been looking at not only atheistic views, it's been trying to go by those principles of far leftism like atheism, socialism, self-respect, equality. Over here, if you look at his statement, he is saying that it's about equality and self-respect, which again has something to do with Tamil Nadu's caste politics. And it's only Jayalalitha who was able to an extent, MGR also, to accommodate religion into Dravidian politics to an extent. But now, I think the entire context has changed within the DMK, especially when you have believers also within the DMK who do not ascribe to Periyarist thought of atheism completely. But so in that context also, this looks complicated when he makes that statement.
Absolutely.
And when he speaks about, some of the statements,
he's saying Sanatana Dharma is a principle that divides people in the name of caste and religion. Uprooting it is upholding humanity and human equality. I stand firmly by every word I have spoken. There are a lot of firms and a lot of outfits outfits, that have openly called out Udhayanidhi Stalin, and Udhayanidhi Stalin has openly responded
he's in fact
on
replied to
the
that also.
microblogging
So,
website. He's saying, "Game on, bring it on."
So
what I stand on, I firmly stand on.
He's, some of them have threatened with the case, and he said that doesn't hold water to me because
have
I'm ready
put
to
out
face
threats.
that. They have put out threats
Physical
also.
threats.
So, and on the other side also, when Amit Malviya said that you're looking for an 80% genocide
There's one
of
more
the
angle
people.
here. There's one more angle here.
Once I'll just complete that.
Right.
80% this thing. He has replied over that. He has said that does it mean that when the BJP is calling for a Congress Mukt Bharat that you're going to eliminate, eradicate all the congressmen? It's not that. He is saying that he is looking at the elimination of an idea. So ideology, religion, and a hefty mix. And by the way, Tamil Nadu is a place of temples. It is, ironically enough, everything exists in Tamil Nadu. You have an atheist who is looking after temples, and then you have a theist who might be looking at certain aspects of atheism. So, being very complicated, I think it should be.
People on the internet calling out Udhayanidhi's atheism as well.
Udhayanidhi's atheism
and also,
as well.
Putting out those pictures where he's, inside a church. Also comparing those pictures, putting out Annamalai's picture where he's taking part in that Kavadi Yatra. That's the comparison that they're constantly drawing. And whilst that comparison is being drawn, and we'll play out that reaction of Udhayanidhi Stalin, exactly what he spoke and where he spoke. It's important to note here that everywhere all the politicians are constantly saying, and this guy is also part of that INDIA alliance. DMK
Exactly,
is part of that INDIA alliance.
And ironically enough, you had Karthi Chidambaram coming in defense of Udhayanidhi Stalin. So that idea of INDIA, DMK and Congress coming together,
hierarchy,
yes, exactly.
That particular statement coming from Karthi Chidambaram.
So
let's first listen into what
Udhayanidhi
Udhayanidhi Stalin had to say. Varghese is here, right here in the studio if need any sort of translation as well. Let's quickly listen into what the son of the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and DMK leader Udhayanidhi Stalin had to say.
முதல்ல தமிழ்நாடு முற்போக்கு எழுத்தாளர் கலைஞர்கள் சங்கம் அவங்களுக்கு என்னுடைய நன்றியை நான் தெரிவிச்சுக்கிறேன். ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயத்தை பேசுறதுக்கு அவங்களுடைய மேடையில் எனக்கு வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்து இன்னைக்கு ஒட்டுமொத்த இந்தியாவுமே அதை பற்றி பேசிட்டு இருக்கு. பேசணும், அதுக்காக தான் நான் பேசினேன். நேற்று பேசும்போதே நான் சொன்னேன், இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு, நான் இங்கே பேசிட்டு இருக்கேன், நிறைய பேருக்கு வைத்தறிச்சல் வரும் அப்படின்னு நான் சொன்னேன். அதனால நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி நடந்திருக்கு. நான் திருப்பவும் சொல்றேன், நான் சனாதன கோட்பாடுகளை தான் நான் விமர்சிச்சேன். சனாதன கோட்பாடுகளை தான் நான் ஒழிக்கணும்னு சொன்னேன். அதை நான் பேசிட்டு தான் இருப்பேன். ரொம்ப பைத்தியகாரத்தனமா, ரொம்ப குழந்தைத்தனமா நான் ஜெனோசைடுலாம் இன்வைட் பண்ணேன் அப்படின்லாம் சொல்றாங்க. இப்போ நிறைய பேர் இப்போ சில குழுக்கெல்லாம் சமீபத்தில் திராவிடத்தை ஒழிக்கணும், கம்யூனிஸ்டை ஒழிக்கணும் அப்படின்னா திமுக காரங்களாம் கொலை செய்யப்படுறாங்க. இல்ல ஒன்றிய பிரதமர் திரு நரேந்திர மோடி அவர்கள் காங்கிரஸ் முக்த் பாரதா அப்படின்னா அவர் என்ன காங்கிரஸ் பிடிச்சு கொலை பண்ண போறாங்களா? நான் ஒரு கொள்கையை சனாதனம்னா என்ன, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் எதுவுமே மாறக்கூடாது, எல்லாமே நிலையானது அப்படின்னு சொல்றதுதான் சனாதனம்னு அதுக்கு ஒரு விளக்கம் சொல்றாங்க. எல்லாத்திலையும் மாற்றம் ஏற்படணும், ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கக்கூடாது அப்படிங்கறதுதான் எங்களுடைய திராவிட மாடல். எல்லோருக்கும் எல்லாம் கிடைக்குங்கிறதா திராவிட மாடல். சில வருடங்களுக்கு முன்பு பெண்கள் படிக்கக்கூடாதுன்னு சொன்னாங்க. பல வருடங்களுக்கு முன்பு பெண்கள் மேலாடை அணியக்கூடாதுன்னு சொன்னாங்க. கோயிலுக்குள்ள போகக்கூடாதுன்னு சொன்னாங்க. ஆனா ஒவ்வொன்றையும் நம்ம மாத்தி இருக்கிறோம். இதுதான் திராவிட மாடல். அதனால என்ன வழக்கு போட்டாலும் இதனால சந்திக்கிறோம். நான் கரெக்டா தான் சொன்னேன். நான் இப்பவும் சொல்றேன், நான் சொன்ன கரெக்டா தான் சொன்னேன். அதை வேணும்னே அவங்க எப்பவுமே அது பாஜக ஒரு வேலை, ஃபேக் நியூஸை பரப்புறது. நான் எந்த கிடையாதுங்க. இது நேற்று முன்தினம் இந்தியாவுடைய அந்த இந்தியா கூட்டணியோட வெற்றி அவங்க ரொம்ப பாதிக்க வச்சிருக்கு, தடுமாற்றம் கொடுத்திருக்கு. அதனாலதான் ஏதாவது ஒண்ணு திசை திருப்பணும்னு இதெல்லாம் பேசிட்டு இருக்காங்க.
Well, so that's the reaction coming across from Udhayanidhi Stalin. Essentially suggesting that, well, what he meant is coming from a place of logical sound and reasoning, and he's not going to back down.
Well, I couldn't in fact follow exactly because I was not getting the proper audio for it, but I think we can read it from his statements from X as well as other microblogging websites that he was actually speaking from a very Periyarist kind of a situation. And because he was speaking from a very Periyarist kind of a thing, it's not going to be palpable, because Periyarism is meant on, as I said, iconoclasm. But having said that, I think for one thing is that when you said that Annamalai is being compared to Udhayanidhi Stalin, I think a lot of right-wingers are playing straight into the DMK game, where DMK is trying to segregate all right-wingers at one go. And when they do that, the DMK in fact would try to say that, see, this is what we were representing Tamil and Tamil culture as. These people are what they are trying to get. And remember, the BJP has been carrying out with a lot of outreach programs with Tamil leaders within Tamil Nadu. Remember the, Saurashtra Tamil Sangamam,
Right.
or the Banaras Tamil Sangamam, where Varanasi, you had people being taken from Tamil Nadu. So they were trying to build that linkages, saying that you have a connection with Sanatana Dharma, and then you have this ideological sharpness coming in all of a sudden. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this is going
Today
to play
at
out.
11, again, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a full-blown show on this particular, reaction by Udhayanidhi Stalin. And Varghese, my friend, is going to be at the helm of that particular show. We'll have the right kind of voices. We'll have, of course, a BJP voice, a DMK voice, a voice that is from Tamil Nadu, and a voice that is a political analyst. We'll bring you, a rounded debate on essentially what he had to say. Before we move on, this is what Amit Malviya actually had to say. And on social media, it's always Amit Malviya that's, stirring up that little storm, and then it's a full-blown row. Udhayanidhi Stalin, son of Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and a minister in the DMK government, has linked Sanatana Dharma to malaria and dengue. He is of the opinion that it must be eradicated and not merely opposed. In short, he is calling for genocide of 80% population of Bharat who follow Sanatana Dharma. DMK is a prominent member of the opposition bloc and a long-standing ally of the Congress party. Is this what was agreed in the Mumbai meet? To which Udhayanidhi Stalin then says, I never called for the genocide of the people who are following Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is a principle that divides people in the name of caste and religion. Uprooting Sanatana Dharma is upholding humanity and human equality. I stand firmly by every word I have spoken. I spoke on behalf of the oppressed and marginalized who suffer due to Sanatana Dharma. I am ready to represent the extensive writings of Periyar and Ambedkar, who conducted in-depth research on Sanatana Dharma and its negative impact on society in any forum. Let me reiterate the crucial aspect of my speech. And he quotes himself. He said, I believe, like the spread of diseases like COVID-19, dengue and malaria by mosquitoes, that Sanatana Dharma is responsible for many social evils. I am prepared to confront any challenges that come my way, whether in a court of law or the people's court. Stop spreading fake news, Amit Malviya, is what he had to say. 11 a.m., ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get down to the bottom of this and understand what really is at play, because the INDA alliance is always making its fray everywhere, name into the fray, beg your pardon. Well, join us at 11 a.m.